वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय कोटिसूर्य समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
Madhyoli Charanam, Jayanandalala, everybody. So today again we're going to continue. This session is going to be really interesting, that I'm going to share a few details with you today. Again, continuing the Ganesha Shodasa Nama Stothram, the meaning of all the names. We come to the next one, Phalachandar. Phalachandraya Namaha. Right? So, what does Phalachandar mean? It's actually pronounced as Phalam, not Balam. Phalam, P-H-A, Phalam. Phalam means front portion of the head. It's a forehead. So, Phalachandra means the one who has the moon in his forehead, on his forehead. So that is what Phalachandra means. Who has the moon on his head? And who has the moon on his head? And I immediately say that the one and only Paramashiva comes to mind. Lord Shiva. Who else has the moon on her head? Arambal, Kamakshi. She has the moon on her head. These two have the moon. Now, why is Ganesha called Phalachandra? Because he also has the moon on his head. Now, there's a story for that. Why does he have the moon on his head? That's a speciality about him also. He shares that with his parents. So now we'll go through that story, how he got the moon on his head. One day, as usual, Ganesha is traveling on his cute mouse, the Vahanam, and somehow the mouse trips and Ganesha topples out of the mouse. A cute round Ganesha topples out of the mouse, and this, who was watching? The moon. The moon was watching the scene, and he found it very funny. And he started laughing. He started laughing and making fun of Ganesha's looks. Like, you're round, you're big. And he was making fun and laughing. Ganesha was not very happy. He was very angry. He was very furious. So he immediately cursed the moon. He immediately cursed the moon for his arrogance. He immediately said, no one will look at you. You think you're very handsome, right? Yes, the moon is very handsome. The moon is very good looking. He's got beautiful features, white, shiny, very pleasant looking. And yeah, he does have that proud feeling that I look very good. And there's a lot of people who look good, but when it comes to the head, right? That's it. Looks go away. Looks don't stay. But what you are inside, that stays. That always stays. Looks are very temporary. This story is very, very clear. That factor is portrayed very clearly. That don't get attached to the outside look. So now what did Ganesha do? Obviously, everybody is very, we all love looking at the moon. Who doesn't love looking at the moon? When we see a full moon, we actually see it however you see it. It's not, you're not content. We'll stop the car somewhere and we gaze at the sky to just see the moon. That beautiful full moon has its beauty, even if it's half moon, even whatever. A moon is beautiful, a crescent or a full, right? So now Ganesha cursed him, saying, no one will look at you. If they do, they will become victims of unnecessary blame, he said. You see that? So if somebody looks at you, even by mistake, they will be victims of unnecessary blame. Wow. That is pretty dangerous because the moon is right up in the sky. Everybody's going to see it by mistake or even if they want to. Now everybody started seeing the effects of that curse. And they all started cursing the moon. They were like, I wish you go away. Why are you still here? You need to go. I don't want you here. Now the moon was so upset. Obviously, if everybody says that, what would you do? You go hide yourself. That's the first thing you do. Let me just go hide myself. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to upset anybody. So that's the first thing we'll do, is hide ourselves. Exactly what the moon did. The moon went and hid himself under the ocean. He was never to be seen again by anybody. Now we know a lot of benefits of the sunshine. We know how much of benefits and life thrives from sunshine, right? From the sun. But do we know that the moon also has a lot of benefits? The moon also has a lot of benefits. A lot of herbs grow in the moonlight. A lot of medicinal herbs grow in the moonlight. And Paurnami, why do they say, go and dip in the water before the sunrise? Because of all that moon energy that is instilled in that water. So when you dip, you get all that goodness, all that energy from the moon. Before the sun comes, you need to dip. All these benefits are there in the moon. Now, moon is hiding. It's all gone. Diseases are thriving everywhere because no herbs are there. All the herbs perished. No herbs can grow without the moonlight. So many problems, one after the other. Now all the devas, they know that the moon is hiding. They go and tell him, why are you suffering, hiding like this? Do you know, because of you, a lot of living beings are suffering. It's having bad effects. Can you please come back? Just go and apologize. Just go and ask for forgiveness to Lord Ganesha. He is very, very compassionate. He's very kind. He will easily forgive you. Just go fall at his feet and ask for forgiveness, they say. The moon says, okay, I will do that. So he goes and he falls at the Lord's feet, Lord Ganesha's feet. We all know Lord Ganesha is very sweet. He's very compassionate. The very few times he gets angry like this. Other times, it's like the Vikatar moment, right? He teaches us a lot of lessons with a lot of humor. This is the first time he was made to be angry. First time he had to be angry. That's very rare. We don't see Lord Ganesha angry many times. But immediately he forgave him. Immediately he said, okay, I forgive you. And he relaxed the curse. You cannot take away the curse fully. You can relax it, right? He relaxed it by saying that only on the Chaturthi Tithi, the moon should not be seen. Any other day, anybody can see the moon. Okay, the Chaturthi Tithi is when it comes after Amavasya. It's the manifestation of the moon, when it's manifesting. That is the only day you should not see the moon. Any other day, it's fine. He relaxed it. Not only that, he was so happy with the moon, he even wore it on his head. How sweet. See, that one sorry can take you places. That one apology, one sorry takes you places. He got a place on the Lord's head. And not only that. So we all perform Sankata Hara Chathurthi Poojai, right? After that, he said the moon also should be worshipped. So I know a lot of you know that after the Vridam, Sankata Hara Chathurthi Vridam, we all go outside to see the moon. Before we break the fast, I know if you all are aware, we all go outside, see the moon, pay our respects to the moon, and then come back in to eat, to break our fast. This is how it's done. And this is what Lord Ganesha has said. Giving him that status, raising him to that place. After my puja, people will think about you also. See, after the curse, you become one, you get very highly promoted, right? So it's a blessing to be cursed by the Lord also, I guess. There's a small story that I want to share with you regarding the Sankata Hara Chathurthi Puja that we do every month. And it is, you will understand why it's so significant. Why people need to follow this and do this puja. Why is it so powerful? The story will fill that vacuum for us. We will understand it better. It's about Lord Krishna. And this is from one of Amma's books. A part of the story is from Amma's book, Enlightenment. She has only captured one part of the story to give us a message, which I will tell you. And the other part of the message also, I will tell you. Now, Lord Krishna was also affected by this curse. Which curse? Of seeing the moon. And unnecessarily getting blamed for no reason. Remember, that is the curse. If you see the moon, you'll be unnecessarily blamed for nothing. Exactly what Lord Krishna got into. He was blamed for something he did not do. Let's see what it is. So there is a devotee of Lord Surya, sun god, named Chatrajit. And he was from the Yadava clan. He was a big bhakta of the sun god. Now, sun god has this beautiful gem that he wears called the Chamantaka Mani. It's red in color. It's beautiful. I can only give you a picture of what it is because the explanation is such that whoever wore it, especially the sun god, when he wore it, already the sun is bright. This Chamantaka Mani is as bright as him. So whoever wore it look like the sun god. They'll be so bright. So that's the beauty of this gem. And whatever you pray to it, your wish will be fulfilled. That is the power of this money, this gem. That is what the sun god has. Now, this Chatrajit is a big devotee of the sun god. He used to pray to him. He used to do a lot of poojais for the sun god, that he pleased the sun god so much. The sun god came in front of him and gave this Chamantaka Mani to Chatrajit. Can you imagine? He gave this Chamantaka Mani just like that to Chatrajit. He was so happy because now he looked like sun god himself. Wearing it, he was like shining bright like the sun. Now everybody in this town knew who Chatrajit was, and that sun god gave him this jewel, and everybody's eyes were on the jewel. Now, Lord Krishna, who was there too, he went and told Chatrajit that it's such a beautiful money you have there. You know, you should probably give it to the king of this place. If the king has this, then it will be good for the whole subjects, the whole countrymen. That's what Lord Krishna said. Chatrajit was like, no, sun god, give it to me, I'll have it. Now we all know Satyabhama, right? Satyabhama was a daughter of Chatrajit. And Chatrajit was not very impressed with Lord Krishna. But Satyabhama was always thinking of Lord Krishna. She's always in prayers for Lord Krishna. She's already seen him as her husband. Whether Chatrajit marries her off to Lord Krishna or not, she's already taken him as her husband. So Lord Krishna always, whenever he saw Chatrajit, he would say, one day I'm going to have your jewel for myself. And Chatrajit always felt he was talking about the Chamantaka Mani. But Lord Krishna was talking about Satyabhama. So Chatrajit was always thinking that Lord Krishna had an eye on this Chamantaka Mani. Now, one fine day, Lord Krishna, Chatrajit's brother, Prasenan, took this jewel. He was like very intrigued by it. He was like, I want to wear it one day. So he wore it and he went hunting. I know, right? But he had to go hunting with the jewel. Don't ask me why. That's what happened. He went hunting with this jewel, never returned. He never returned to Dwaraka. So everybody thought Krishna was the culprit. They thought Krishna stole the jewel from Prasenan. And this is what was going around everywhere. Everybody thought Krishna is the culprit. Now, Chatrajit remembered what Krishna always said, I will get the jewel from you one day. Your jewel will be mine one day. And he immediately went to Balarama and he told him, this is what Krishna always keeps saying. And see, the day is come. The jewel is missing. And my brother is also missing. Now Balarama, instead of asking Krishna what happened or anything, he already made up his mind. He comes to Lord Krishna and he says, so I never expected that you would stoop to this level. I mean, I understand. You've been stealing so many things from your childhood. But you'll steal this also? And put the whole Yadava clan in shame? Lord Krishna was like confused. It's like, what are you talking about? I did not steal anything. So Balarama said, yeah, you stole the butter. You stole Rukmani. Every time people asked you, did you steal? You said you didn't steal. When have you accepted that you've stolen butter? Good point. So Lord Krishna was put in a crossroads, right? He didn't know what to say. Nobody's going to believe him. Yes, he did steal butter. But is anybody going to believe him now when he says, I did not steal the money? So he says, okay, you know what? I'm going to go and fetch this myself. I'm going to find out the truth. Just give me 3 days, he says to Balarama. Balarama says, you know what? You go out of this place for a month. Don't show your face. And he says, you know what? Please give me 3 days. I will find out what happened and come back. So Lord Krishna goes into the forest. Then he found Prasenan lying there dead. And the money, of course, the Chamantaka money was not there in his neck. But he saw lion tracks. So it's obvious a lion must have killed him. And the lion has got the Chamantaka money. So he followed the lion tracks. And then again he saw the lion dead over there. He found the lion dead. Chamantaka money is missing. So obviously something else has taken the money from the lion. And he saw bear tracks. Footprints of bear. He followed that footprint. And he went and it led to a cave. Inside the cave. So he said, okay, I'll go inside and find out the truth. And he goes inside. Over there, he sees this Chamantaka money placed in one corner. A lot of flowers on it. As if someone has done poojai for it. He went and he wanted to take it, wanted to grab it. Immediately, a big bear pounces out of nowhere. Who is that bear? Jambavan. Does that ring a bell? Jambavan from Treta Yugam. The same bear that helped Lord Rama find Sita, along with the whole monkey clan, right? He was one bear that reminded Hanuman of his powers. That one bear that told Hanuman that you can fly. And Hanuman took that first flight towards Lanka, right? That same Jambavan in Dwapara Yugam, the next Yugam, standing in front of another manifestation of his beloved Lord Rama, now Lord Krishna, and has no clue that it is the Lord Rama. So Lord Krishna requests him, can I have the gem, please? It belongs to one of my people I know. I need to take it back to him. He said, no, I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving it to you. I found it. Finders keepers kind of thing. I'm keeping it. So Lord Krishna was like, I need it. If you don't give it to me soft, then I have to fight you. Jambavan said, try me. Yes. Let's fight. If you win, you get it. So there is a big fight for 28 days. 28 days. And Jambavan, as he was fighting, he understood that nobody fights him for even a day. Forget a day. Even for 5 minutes. And this man is fighting me like nothing is getting to him. Whatever I hit is not even hurting him. But his blow is like thousands of blows to me. I'm feeling it. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. And by the end of 28 days, he's fallen there exhausted. And he knew this is not an ordinary man. With all that thoughts, he slowly opens his eyes. And he sees Lord Rama standing in front of him. And smiling at him. He immediately gets up and he falls at his feet and asks for forgiveness. He says, you know why I stole the Chamantakamani? Every day after I came across this money, I was praying to see you, he said. Every day I prayed, I want to see my Lord Rama. I want to see my Lord Rama. And here you are. You came. And Lord Rama embraces Jambavan. He took him close and embraced him. And Jambavan is continuously crying. He's weeping. He's saying, you made me fight you. I feel terrible. You made me make such a big sin. And he was crying. I fought with my own Lord. Why did you do this? So Lord Rama says, you know, every time I embraced Anjaneya, every time I embraced Sugriva or Vibhishana, you used to always think how wonderful it would be if I embraced Lord Rama. Oh, when will I have that fulfilled? How I wish he embraced me too. Didn't you, Jambavan? Lord Rama asks. Didn't you desire to embrace me too? And that is why I embraced you now. And another time when I was fighting Ravana, when everybody was busy fighting, you took a moment and you were watching me fighting Ravana in awe and thinking how wonderful it would be to fight the Lord himself. Ravana is indeed blessed. Didn't you, Jambavan? He said. You desired to fight me too. After all, you've helped me so much in getting back Sita. Won't I do this small thing for you? He says. Jambavan was speechless. I mean, think about it. Anybody would be speechless, right? That Lord coming back in a different yugam and fulfilling that desire. Unexpectedly. Showing up. Remembering all this and fulfilling it. He didn't even say it out. These were the desires he locked himself inside. All these desires were locked inside. It was not even out in his lips. Forget anyone hearing it. But the Lord hears you because he resides here. You don't have to say it out. Jambavan was so overwhelmed, tears running down his cheeks. He said, yes, yes, yes. Yes, I did desire to embrace you and I did desire to fight you. So Lord said, so don't think it's a sin. I played this drama so that you can have your desire fulfilled. So Jambavan fell at his feet again and took his blessings and gave him the Shamantaka money along with his daughter Jambavati. He said, Lord, please take my daughter. She's all yours. And he gave his daughter Jambavati, very pretty. She also went with Lord Krishna very happily. So Krishna came with Jambavati and Shamantaka money back to Dwaraka and gave it back to Satyabhama's father, Chatrajit. Chatrajit was very happy. He was very happy that he got back his Shamantaka money. In that happiness, he gave his daughter in marriage to Lord Krishna. Now that is what he meant all the way. He said, one day I will get your jewel. And he got it. Satyabhama was Lord Krishna's. Now there were a lot of people who liked Satyabhama. Two of Prasenan's friends, they liked Satyabhama. And they were very jealous that Satyabhama was given to Lord Krishna. They were not happy. So they wanted to get back to Lord Krishna somehow and put him in some trouble again. So what did they do? They stole the Shamantaka money from Chatrajit again. Yes, again. Now again, Lord Krishna was the suspect. See, once you steal, when you're a child, I think that stamp keeps following you. After all, he stole only butter, poor thing. But so he didn't know what to do. These two friends ran away from them. So Balarama also said, I cannot help you because all the evidences are saying you are the thief. So well, Krishna goes very sad. He's very disappointed and upset. He goes to the forest And he sits there under a tree and starts playing his flute. His flute is so melodious. It soothes everybody's pain. It makes everybody happy. But Lord Krishna was not happy. He was upset. Why is everybody not believing me? Then the sage Narada was passing by, and he heard this flute, and he followed it, and he saw Lord Krishna there. And he sat beside the Lord, and he asked, "What is making you so sad, my Lord? What can I do for you? Tell me what is bothering you." And Lord Krishna tells him this whole episode, and he says, "I don't know how to prove my innocence." Then Sage Narada smiles, and he says, "You saw the moon, didn't you?" And then Lord Krishna is like, "What moon? What do you mean? I always see the moon." He says, No, the moon has been cursed. You saw the moon, right?" He said, "I might have. That is what has happened. The only person who can save you now is Lord Ganesha," he said. Lord Ganesha is whose nephew only. So he asks, what do you want me to do?" He said, "Do the vratam on that Chaturthi day and do puja for Lord Ganesha, fasting the whole day, breaking it. And the end of the day after you see the moon, and you'll be fine. The curse will be off. You'll be free of the curse." So Lord Krishna says, "Okay, I will do it." And he did it. And Lord Ganesha is so impressed with his uncle, no? He shows up. He shows up in front of him. And he says, "What can I do for you?" So Lord Krishna knows how hard it is when you get caught in unnecessary blame. This is not easy. So he became a spokesperson for all of us. And that day, what did he ask Lord Ganesha? He says, "Please, whoever keeps this vratam, whoever prays to you on this day, please fulfill whatever they ask." Please grant it to them. And Ganesha says, "Tathastu, I will." That's the power of Sankata Hara Chathurthi day. Keeping a vratam, fasting, doing the puja, and praying to the Lord will definitely remove the obstacle. And that is a promise, not anybody else. Ganesha did to Lord Sri Krishna. The Lord himself asked him for that promise, and he granted it. That he will take care of his devotees, whoever do that with him on that day. See, everything has a reason. Everything has a story. Why things are being done, why that is done, why this is done. Everything has a reason in our scriptures. We just have to go dig it up to see where it is. So that is why we see a lot of people doing that rhythm. And a lot of them get their prayers answered. And as much as I remember, there are a lot of devotees who have never got a job. So many times they tried. They've received a job call during our Sankata Hara Chathurthi puja. They won't receive it other time. They can receive it next day, or they could receive it before the puja on the same day. No, they receive the call as the puja is going on. The call that they never received any other day. For months, they received that time, at that moment. And they have this call, they run outside, talk to them, and come back with tears in their eyes. I've seen this. I've witnessed all this. With tears in their eyes, they come and tell me, I got a job. This is the power of Lord Ganesha. Story is not just a story, it is true in every aspect. And these are all not just there for just reading and entertainment. This is there for us to follow and live through and to pass on to our future generations so that they can also be benefited. Everything has a solution. When you dig up our books, everything has a solution. We just have to find it. It's all there. Do you agree? It's all there. I'm going to share a small incident with Amma regarding this thing I was telling you, right? When you don't have to say out your desire. She knows and she fulfills it. The moment when Jambavan met Lord Rama, that moment, when he came in Dwapara Yugam to fulfill Jambavan's desire, that he never said it out. I like to share one incident. Just many incidents are there, but I'm going to share one. I know the feet of the Lord is the most sacred, that is where we all long to be, right? The feet of the Lord is the lotus feet, as it's called. To attain it is our goal. The best place to be is the feet. So what I did was I went to Amma and I said, what is the best way to get hold of her feet? I was thinking. The best way is, this is in the beginning, in 2003, 4 kind of time. So I went to her and I said, I want to put nail polish on your feet. So she looked at me. She always looks at me like she's talking to a small kid, It's like, Cherry. She said, okay. And I said, so I will, from now on, I was pushing it now. I'm pushing it now, okay? From now on, every time I see you, I will put nail polish for you. I said, it's really pushing harder. But surprisingly, she said, okay. I was surprised. Okay, that was good. I just said it and she agreed. Then whenever I went to India, I would go with a new set of nail polish remover. I used to buy all these fancy nail polish removers, which are organic, which are not that usual stinky ones, The alcohol ones are really bad. It smells really strong. So I used to buy all these organic oil-based ones and go out to take care. I used to be really caring for her feet. And I used to buy the best nail polish and all those tools, everything. I used to buy new ones. And I used to buy those stickers also to put on the thing after polish, put sticker and then again. All this, I used to be like, I took it really seriously. And I bought all this and I go. And then one fine day, the first time I went to do the nail polish for her toenails, she was there. And it was around afternoon. And she said, "Do you want to have lunch with me?" I said, "Yeah, I'll have." So we both sat and had lunch. And then I said, I felt a little bad asking her if I could paint her nails then, but I know she could take a rest, because she sees people every day. There's no break for her. So I said, "Amma, I'll come after an hour to paint your nails, then to give you a pedicure." So she said, "Come." So that would be around 3 o'clock. So I go back home and I take all this, collect all these things, and I come back at 3. And I'm there. She's waiting for me. She's having her tea and she's waiting for me. And "Arambiklama?" she said. I said, "Yeah, sure. So can we start?" is what she asked. I said, "Yeah." And then I'm sitting there and she, all the pedicure, massaging, everything is going on. And I'm taking my sweet time in doing this, I'm not rushing. Because like I said, the best place in the world is under her feet. And I took forever. Like I didn't rush it. I was like massaging and doing it slowly, brushing it. She also never hurried me or told me to hurry up, nothing. She was sitting there, she was reading a book, and she was talking to the people around her about what is going to be for dinner or something. Whatever. I was not paying attention, but I was like focused on this. Then I saw a crowd accumulating outside the house to see her. And I have not even started painting her nails yet. And this crowd is already building up outside to see her. And they're getting restless. They're like pushing themselves inside and coming to the dining area. And I looked at Amma to see if she's annoyed with me. And I look up at her and I say, "Amma, sorry. I'm sorry it's delayed. It's getting delayed for you." Then she says, "Don't worry, you keep doing, don't worry," she said. I'm like, okay. And I continue. "Metuva pannu, avasaram illa." She said, "Don't hurry up. Do it leisurely, calmly, take your time." Okay, so I convinced myself, and suddenly there was one person who came from the inside, one of the people in the kitchen. They said, "Somebody wants to see you. It's urgent, really urgent." Then I looked up at her and I was like, "You want me to leave?" Then she didn't even look at me. Amma didn't even look at me. She said, "Let him come inside. He can talk to me here," she said. Then I was like concerned. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear what he's saying. Who knows what trouble he's in? Poor thing. We all have our privacy. We all go to Amma for so many reasons. We don't want anybody else there and we won't feel comfortable, right? So these thoughts are in my head and I'm like, what I did was I just closed my eyes because she didn't tell me to leave. And I looked up and I said, "Amma, na ulla potuma? Can I go inside?" She said, "No, nee paattukku pannu." So she said, "You carry on doing what you're doing." So she didn't tell me to leave. Now I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to hear anything. So I'm like, close my eyes and I was like, "Amma, I don't want to hear anything." I just told my inside, in my mind, I'm repeating it. "Amma, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything." And he came, he said whatever he had to say. Amma gave whatever she had to give him. And the beauty is, I was focused on the nails and I'm thinking, I don't want to hear anything. I'm chanting her name, Madhyoli Charanam, Madhyoli. I did not hear anything. I was right there. I did not hear anything they spoke. I did not hear what he said to Amma. I did not hear what Amma said to him. That is incredible because it's not even normal if you think about it. And my ears are very sharp. Just saying. And for me to hear nothing, it's because, when you think, I just thought, right? It was fulfilled. Desire. And what did I desire? After all, I didn't want to hear somebody else's. That is a private thing for that person. And I respect it. I'm not inquisitive. And that Amma liked. Amma wanted me to get that. Probably why she did not let me go either. She knew I didn't want to. I'm not interested in other people's whatever they're going through, right? Why? Why should I know? And she knew it. That's why she said stay. And she also let me stay so that I can see her power. Right? She wanted me to experience that power of hers where she can switch off the volume, mute. Everything is under control. So she literally muted because I wanted it to shut off. I didn't want it. And she muted it. It's like a television show for her. Like a remote. Unbelievable. After that, I was it kind of shook me. It's like after that, I was like, oh my God. Was that real? Was that real? I didn't have to try any hard. I didn't even have to try so hard to shut off those voices in my head or coming to my ears or falling in my ear. I didn't have to do anything. She just muted it. I realized the conversation was done when that man left. I was like, oh, it's already done. Yeah, it's her power. So what I thought was given immediately. And yeah, after that, I got to polish her nails. That's a different thing. Every time I saw her, I polished her nails for her. The best part in this world is the feet. And with her blessings, I got that. I got that opportunity. I hope you enjoyed this session. Madhyoli Charanam, Jai Nandalala.